know, before Mary left me, she left me 2 weeks before my son would be born. But before she left me, she wrote down some more things that I keep in my Bible to reflect back upon. And I call it Mary's Song. Mary's song goes like this. And Mary said, my soul doth magnify the Lord, and my spirit hath rejoiced in God my Savior. For he hath regarded the low estate of his handmaiden. For behold, from henceforth all generations shall call me blessed. For he that is mighty hath done to me great things, and holy is his name. And his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. He has showed strength with his arm. He hath scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. And he hath put down the mighty from their seats, and exalted them of low degree. He hath filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he hath sent them empty away. He hath helped his servant Israel in remembrance of his mercy, as he spake to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his seed forever. You know, when Mary left me, like I said, it was 2 weeks before John was born, and she went back home to be with her soon-to-be husband, Joseph. But in the meantime, after she left, I done just as Gabriel had said. I gave birth to a son that I had waited for 55 years to have, a son that I had prayed for, that I had yearned for, that I had fasted to, because faith believing I had hope in God that he would do to me as he said. But you know, I reflect back in the Bible, and it was talking about Sarah. Sarah was old in age when she had her child. And I considered myself to be Sarah, just at a younger age, because God had blessed me. God had blessed me and my husband. And you know, with that son, it was just as he had said. Everybody rejoiced at his birth. He was magnificent. He was marvelous. He had a job to do in life, because God had placed a calling on his life from when he was conceived in my womb. From the time that he was conceived, he knew he had a calling upon him. Just like several of you in here know that you have a calling upon your life. But you know, whenever he went back, or Mary went back to Nazareth, and she met her husband, soon-to-be husband, Joseph. Can you imagine how troubled Joseph was? Here was this woman he was to marry that he had never been with. He did not know personally. But yet she is pregnant. Yet she is expecting a child, and he knows it's not his child. So what should he do? Should he put her away? Should he send her back home to her family? You know, should he keep her and protect her? He doesn't know what to do. It's troubling to him. But one night, he goes to bed. He's wrestling all night long. What do I do? Here I am. I have her. She's pregnant. It's not my child. I just don't know what to do. And you know who appeared to him during his sleep? Gabriel. Gabriel once again came on the scene. And Gabriel tells Joseph, the child she is carrying is of the Holy Spirit. The child she is carrying has been sent from heaven above. Take her as your wife, but do not know her until after the child is born. So Joseph done just as he was supposed to. He took Mary as his wife. And he did not know her until after the baby was born. He cared for her. He loved her. He protected her. He was the perfect husband that God had sent to be with her, because God knew that he needed a strong man to raise his son that he was sending here. Joseph was loving. Joseph was caring. Joseph was compassionate. He would take care. He believed in God. He believed in everything that God said, and he knew there was a purpose, that everything was going down. So Joseph was the father that he sent. Just like fathers sitting here today, God has placed the children in your lives for a reason. God has picked you to be the father of that child because he knows that is who you're supposed to take care of. But you know, after the child was born and everything, and that part will be brought to us next week, I have to ask you here today. First, I want to talk about Gabriel. Whenever you think about Gabriel, Gabriel stands for the power of God. He is one of three angels that are spoke about in the Bible. And God used him to speak to Zechariah. God used him to speak to Mary. God used him to speak to Joseph. He used Gabriel as a tool to speak to all three of them, to let them know through divine intervention they were where they at for a reason. God put them there for a reason. It was their divine time to do as they were being done. And it's you're here today by divine intervention. It's not that you suddenly got up this morning and decided that I want to come to church. God said no. You have an appointment to go to church today, for there's something here that you need to hear. There's something here that's troubling you that you need to bring to the altar today to give to Him. You see, divine intervention comes along to put us where we're at in our lives. So I'm asking you today, what is divine intervention for you today? What is God speaking to you today? You know, for Elizabeth, she was going to have a child. For Zechariah, he was going to have his son. For Mary and Joseph, they were going to be raising Jesus. Now you think about it. How would you like it if Gabriel appeared to you? You think about a birth announcement coming from heaven, from Gabriel. Is that not a birth announcement that I received, that Mary received? How many times has the angel spoken to you and told you things? And you've brushed it off. You thought you didn't hear what you thought you heard. You know, Zechariah didn't speak again until after John was born. And that only happened because after he was born and we took John to the priest on the 8th day to be circumcised, and the priest looked at me and said, we'll name him Zechariah after his daddy. And I told them, no, we will not. That is not what Gabriel said. Gabriel said we will call his name John. Well, you can imagine, the priest looked at me like, who am I to tell a priest what to call my son? They're supposed to name him, right? I looked at Zechariah. Zechariah knew exactly what he needed to do. He was not able to speak until that child was born, and until he took a pen and piece of paper, and he wrote down, no, his name shall be called John, because Gabriel said his name shall be called John. God said his name shall be called John. Upon him testifying of what God had told him to do, he received his voice back. From that moment on, he prophesied about what his son would do. How that John the Baptist would go before and help prepare the way. How that John would help lead people to Jesus. John had a calling on his life. John answered that calling. So I'm asking you today, what's God telling you here today? Is God speaking to your heart? Has God got a divine intervention for you here today, a divine purpose that you're refusing to answer? Something that you're turning your head away from, that you just don't know? You're questioning things? Don't be like Zechariah. Don't question things. Answer what God's telling you to do, because He's speaking to you today.
This song today is about Mary, telling the Holy Spirit, just like she did with Gabriel, your will be done. Today I want to ask you, when she sings this, it's about be born in me, about having Jesus be born in her. I want to ask you today, are you born in Him today? And if you're not born in Him, today's the day to find that.
Amen.
And if you are born in Him today, are you letting Him grow inside you today? So if you're not, it's time to do that.
Everything inside me cries for order. Everything inside me wants to hide. Is this shadow an angel or a warrior? If God is pleased with me, why am I so terrified? Someone tell me I am only dreaming. Somehow help me see through heaven's eyes. And before my head agrees, my heart is on its knees. Holy is He, blessed am I. Be born in me, be born in me. Trembling heart, somehow I believe that you chose me. I'll hold you in the beginning, you will hold me in the end. Every moment in the middle, make my heart your Bethlehem. Be born in me, be born in me.
Has God been born in you? Have you let
All
Jesus
this
into your
time
heart?
you've waited for
Have
a
you accepted him
promise.
as your Savior?
All this time
He's
you've
looking for a
waited for
Bethlehem.
my arms.
This heart right here that you have,
Did
this
you
is the
wrap
Bethlehem for
yourself
him to be born
inside the
into.
unexpected?
Ask yourself, have I
To be
accepted him as my Lord and
love,
Savior?
go to
Have I given my heart to him?
Be
If you've not, today would be a
born
perfect day to do that.
in me.
What a Christmas gift
Be
you can give. To let your family know that I am
born in
saved,
me.
I am born again, I'm going to heaven
Trembling
when I leave
heart,
this earth.
somehow I
Ask yourself.
believe
Question
that
yourself.
you
Do I have Jesus
chose
in my heart?
me. I'll hold you in the beginning, you will hold me in the end. Every moment in the middle, make my heart your Bethlehem. Be born in me, be born in me. I'm not brave, I'll never be. The only thing my heart can offer is a vacancy. I'm just a girl, nothing more. I am willing, I am yours. Oh, oh, be born in me, be born in me. I'll hold you in the beginning, you will hold me in the end. Every moment in the middle, make my heart your Bethlehem. Be born in me,
God said, I'll hold you.
be born
Bring your
in
cares to
me,
him, bring your troubles to him.
be
He tells you,
born
I'll
in
hold you.
me,
You want to cry? He's got the biggest shoulders in the world.
be born
He'll take you,
in
he'll accept you just as you are.
me.